In this video, we're going to show you how to install the camshaft timing magnet adjuster on your Cadillac Escalade located on the front side of your engine. We're going to start by disconnecting the ground terminal on the battery. Use your 10mm socket, extension and ratchet. Loosen that terminal bolt. Remove that terminal and set it aside. On the top side of the engine, we're going to go ahead and pull off the Cadillac trim here. We're just going to gently pull up. Remove this cover and set it aside. On the back right here, there's a vacuum hose, and on the top, there's a little gray plastic tab. We want to press down on that and pull this off. On the driver's side, we have the same thing, but the plastic tab is on the bottom. So you press up on that and pull that hose off. Use a flathead screwdriver to loosen up the intake hose clamp here. On the back side of the airbox right here, there is a hose clamp holding this unit to the front of the throttle body. Use your flathead screwdriver, go ahead and loosen up that hose clamp. Let's work this hose off. I'll lift up on this and pull this out and set it aside. We're going to take the tension off of our tensioner and remove our serpentine belt. You're going to use a 1/2-inch breaker bar. You can use a ratchet if you want to. Breaker bar will give you a little more leverage. I'm going to push it to the passenger side. Using a 15mm socket and ratchet, we're going to loosen the bolt on our tensioner. Going to remove that bolt and remove the tensioner. And we're going to take you down inside. And there is a metal bracket right here with a 10mm bolt right there. We're going to go ahead and loosen and remove that bolt in the center. The other bolt follows that black bracket down and goes behind this pulley down here. The second bolt we're going to access through the face of this pulley. And there is the bracket inside there. So going through the front of this pulley, we're going to access that 10mm bolt that is holding that bracket. So let's go ahead, loosen and remove these two bolts. Let's go ahead and loosen this. Remove that bolt. Okay, get that other bolt removed. Pull it out through the front of the pulley. Disconnect this sensor harness right here. There's a red locking clip. You can generally use your finger on that. Use my pick. There's a little bit of debris that's stuck in there. Once you push that up, you're going to push on the back side right here. And we're going to pull that connector off. Now our clip was a little bit stuck. I used a small flathead pocket screwdriver and went up in the back side of the clip. And just twisted that, just popped that up and off. And we have the other sensor on the back side. There's a gray or off-white locking tab there. We're going to use our pocket screwdriver and just press right here. Unlock that. Now I'm grabbing that sensor and I'm rotating and pulling at the same time. Wiggle that, pop it out. Here it is right here. You can see the O-ring on the edge. And I want to go ahead and disconnect the harness from this here. Use your pocket screwdriver and I'm going to go in here underneath the gray clip and just going to gently apply some pressure. Pop that off, and what you're doing is you're releasing the clip from this little tab on the back side of the sensor. Using our T27 Torx bit, I want to go ahead and loosen the 3 bolts here. And once we get those broken free, we should be able to just use our extension and Torx bit to go ahead and spin these out. Once you have those 3 bolts out, you can grab the electronic unit here. Let's pull that out. Once we remove that unit there, there's a rubber O-ring on the front side of the engine. You normally want to go ahead and replace that. We're going to wipe down the surface here, make sure ours is clean. It is a reusable gasket, so you want to make sure that it is in good condition. If it looks like it's leaking, has a split, tear, anything like that, definitely replace it while you're here. Now when installing your sensor, you want to make sure that the electrical connector port of it is facing roughly 10, 11 o'clock. Lower this down, insert it into the engine. From the factory, there was blue Loctite on the bolt. We're going to go ahead and reapply some blue Loctite on all 3 of these and then install them. Now I like to thread these in as far as I can by hand if they're nice and easy to do so. Now we're gently going to snug these into position. We're not going to tighten them. Just want to snug those down. Now we're going to torque these 3 bolts down to 89 inch-pounds or 7.4 foot-pounds. We'll lower our sensor down into place. push it into the block. I'm just going to position it so that I can get the connector clipped onto it, and then we can rotate it back into position. Because that sensor will spin around on the O-ring once you get it in there. Push it up and on, and then we have that little gray lock on the back side. Make sure that harness is pushed in all the way. You'll feel it clip into place. Then we can go ahead and use our pocket screwdriver if you have to. Push that gray lock clip back into place. Now we just need to position it so that the bolt hole for the bracket and the sensor line up with the block, and we can get one of those bolts installed. Let's go ahead and install the bolt. It should go through the bracket as well as the sensor, and just get that started a few threads. Don't want to tighten it yet because we have to get the lower bolt installed now. So we'll get that lower bolt started. I have one finger on the outside of the pulley and one finger through the hole in the front of the pulley. I'm using two fingers to go ahead and spin that in. Get that threaded in as far as you can. You should be able to get that in pretty far. Now we can go ahead and tighten them down. Let's torque these two bolts down to 106 inch-pounds or 8.8 foot-pounds. Install the harness connector right here. Push it down, you'll hear it and feel it snap into place. Then you want to engage the red lock button right here. Push it down by your finger, or you can use your pocket screwdriver to push it down into place. And then just give it a little wiggle, make sure it's locked in. Install your tensioner. You want to make sure that the little round nub here fits into the front side of the engine. And then we'll go ahead and thread that bolt in. I'll make sure that's snug. With our tensioner installed, let's go ahead and install our belt. Make sure that the belt is fully seated on all of the pulleys. Release the tension and remove your bar. Now, we had previously snugged down the bolt here for our tensioner, but we do have to torque it to 43 foot-pounds. Let's go ahead and install our upper intake unit here. Now what we're doing is on the back side here, there's a metal bracket that fits in this groove on the side of the air box. We're putting on our flex hose here onto the air filter box. Let's install the hose on the throttle body. Push that into place. Let's go ahead and tighten down that clamp. Snug that down. Let's tighten down the other hose clamp. On the back here, we have the two ports. We want to go ahead and install these hoses. All you have to do is line them up, push them on. they'll snap into place. Give it a little wiggle, make sure it's locked in. Repeat for the driver's side. We're going to install our Cadillac trim molding here. There are metal studs that pop into these grommets around the perimeter. The back side fits into these two little tabs in the back. And then press these down. Install the terminal on the battery. Tighten down the nut.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.